Welcome, everyone, to the Chris Perish podcast. It is episode 17. It is the WrestleMania 40 edition. I am not alone. You see an old face? A face that's killing. Well, an old face in terms of with me. But a face of domination, because Between Two Beards is absolutely just carving up the competition. Love Wrestling is just absolutely paving the way of a new direction for podcasting. I'm here with the budget blower himself, Pluggo. How are you doing, my man?
Yes, sir. I'm good. You could have stopped at an old face, because I definitely have an old face.
Yeah.
I'm getting up there. You could have stopped there. But yeah, no, I'm happy to be here. You reached out and said, let's talk some WrestleMania next. Well, this is being recorded, so I've already blown the whole shtick. WrestleMania this weekend.
Yeah.
Tonight. Whatever. Whoops. But yes, yeah, I'm glad to be here, friend. It's an old, yeah. Let's do that. There you go.
Yeah.
Nobody ever said I was any good at this podcasting thing.
Oh, man, if people put my brains as the reason why they hung out with me, I think their brain power is quite in question as well. But no, I mean, WrestleMania 40 looks absolutely stacked. As we know of right now, 12 confirmed matches, potentially 2 more, because I did hear rumors that they do plan on doing 7 matches per night. I don't know how accurate that's going to be, but I mean, it's WrestleMania. I'm not going to doubt it.
Right.
I think we just start with the bangs, shall we?
Yeah.
Main event, night 1. The match that everyone's talking about, the tag match. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Diarrhea Dwayne himself.
I'm so happy Seth got away from that after doing it the one time. I was like, it's so bad. It's so bad, Seth. Come on. You're better than that.
Oh, it is, but it was funny the one time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you have Rock and Roman Reigns taking on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Did anybody expect this match to ever happen?
Well, if you look back at how it all began, no. It was just odd that the beginning of the whole story is Cody getting the spot, then giving up the spot, and now we're here. They claim that this has been the plan all along. I don't think it was, because Seth clearly was aligned to go with Punk. That was the move. Punk got hurt. They had to pull some audibles, which I think they've done a great job telling the story. I think they've done a fantastic job of rebounding and figuring out the story to where we're at. So no, I never expected it to happen. I'm excited that it's happening. It is interesting to get both to have Seth involved when he's got a title match, and then you can't float a term like bloodline rules and not do a bloodline rules match. Right? So we know it's almost like it's a foregone conclusion that Rock and Roman are winning this thing at night 1. So predictability doesn't necessarily mean bad. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know how they're going to book it, but I have a feeling it's going to be just absolute chaos.
What are the chances of? I mean, I think we all know the bloodline's going to get involved, like the solos and stuff. Do we see Drew McIntyre get involved?
Well, if you watched Raw and he was hanging out with Paul Heyman back in during that Miz R-Truth segment, there's a chance. I don't see why not, because it looks the way they booked Drew is that he doesn't care about anything but just getting after Seth. So I could see him taking out Seth. Cody's in a 1-on-2 situation. Can't overcome it. Solo's involved. Jimmy's involved. It could just be that kind of scenario. So yeah, I could see Drew getting in the mix. Why wouldn't he want to soften up Seth before their title match?
Well, yeah, and one of the things I love about the perception and the perspective of Drew kind of going in is that he is not mad that Seth is doing this match. What he's mad about is the lack of attention he's giving Drew. And I think he believes that Seth is just not giving him his full attention. And he's like, dude, I'm going to beat you up. Right. You better be 100%, because if you're not, this is going to be easy. And I don't want to make it easy. He is the Batman in this story that gets booed.
He's the smartest heel in the books, because most heels would be like, mad that you're in this for paying attention to other things. Drew's like, no, go ahead. go do that. But guess what? Come our match. It's not my fault when I pick you apart. It's a smart move on his part. It makes him look good, makes him look smart, makes it look like Seth's a little bit kind of overlooking Drew. It's kind of an interesting play.
Yeah, it's definitely making Seth just really kind of just saying yes to every fight that comes his way, and then Drew's kind of that conscious. It'd be like, dude, I'm one of your fights. Pay attention to me because you don't want to take me lightly. But with that, I can't help but think Seth Rollins has taken the fall in this match.
Yeah,
I think I don't think you have Cody Rhodes taking the L the night before him versus Roman.
Yeah,
I can't see that. And if the bloodline is to win, then obviously there's only one more option, and that's where I think Seth Rollins takes the L. And I think personally, I think that's the first of a couple of L's Seth Rollins takes this weekend.
I think if you want to just streamline into the Drew Seth match, because I think all of it kind of ties together. I think this is the time you pull the trigger on Drew winning it, getting his moment in front of people. You've got CM Punk on commentary for that thing. There's going to be some shenanigans. You've also got the looming Damian Priest cash in. I think it's a perfect opportunity for the WWE. Drew's hotter than he's ever been. There's so much going on right here. You could pull the trigger right here if you wanted to do a Damian cash in just to even make it. I feel like this is a great spot to do it, because if they don't do it, I'm not sure when they decide to pull the trigger with Seth.
Yeah, and I think this is the perfect time too. Like you don't need. I mean, we kind of ran the risk of if Roman beats everyone, who's kind of next. And now I don't know if you're at the same point I am with Roman, but is it cool that he has this huge streak? Sure, but I'm kind of bored with his reign because he just seems like he runs through everyone, and then they don't really tell. The story isn't necessarily his feuds; it's just the bloodline story, right? And I don't want the same thing to happen with Seth. Seth is kind of on that trajectory. So if he takes an L, and I always looked at Superman as being awesome, but if he had no kryptonite, he wouldn't be interesting. And I do think it'd be nice to see Seth Rollins have a little bit of a kryptonite in Drew McIntyre, especially with the story that we're talking about. That Seth is just too focused on maybe the tag match, and then that got to him. He's broken down. He's had the knee problems. He's had the back problems. Drew McIntyre is healthy as we know it, takes full advantage, wins that championship, gets his moment. But then, like as you say, this is, I think, the perfect time for Damian Priest to do something big. And I think what better time than to do Heist of the Century Part 2.
Well, plus, even if you don't, with the Drew side of it, if you're not going to pull the trigger on Drew now, then when? I know that there's the looming he hasn't signed, so that could factor into it. But if you got the guy signed, if you're not going to have him win the big spot, then what are we doing here? So this, I think, is not going to go Seth's way, somehow. We'll see. It's going to be easier. With Punk's going to be there. That's going to be a distraction for both of them because he doesn't like either one of them and they don't like him. So are they too focused on Punk? It's going to be an interesting how they pull that off at the end. But I have a feeling that Seth Rollins is leaving WrestleMania weekend defeated.
Yeah. I have a feeling that they're going to almost have Damian Priest cash in while the match takes place. And then while we get that moment where it looks like it's going to be Drew's, I think that's where Damian Priest probably steals it away. And then maybe the storyline is we do feel sympathetic for Drew, and then we go with Drew and Damian post-Mania.
Yeah.
I think that could very well be a thing. It's in Philadelphia. We have to remember, Philly's a fickle. They cheer for whoever they want to. And in 5 minutes later, they'll boo that same guy.
Oh, yeah. The crowd's going to play an interesting role here. They booed Santa Claus. Philly crowd, man.
Yeah, I mean, he did mess up my chimney one year, and he hasn't apologized.
That's true. He doesn't have to. He's Santa. He gave you gifts, called it even.
You took my milk, man. Come on.
Hey, I broke your chimney, but I left you a bag of gifts. You're fine.
I have a Cookie Monster hat on, and he ate my cookies. I'm like, it's just not cool.
You can't leave him out and expect him not to get ate, man. That's
I
just
didn't. Yeah, I was irresponsible. That was my bad. Let's transition to some female wrestling because there are some huge matchups. And then the first one I want to talk about is, I mean, how can we not? Rhea Ripley, in my eyes, the best female wrestler going right now.
oh yeah, she's on fire. She's on fire.
She is defending that championship against Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch stated on the Ariel Helwani podcast that she assumes that they were going to be night one.
Yeah. I'd have them open with that. Make that just big moment, hot match. Start us off right.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's WrestleMania. You either have the best opener and I'd rather have the hottest open and the best close, and that's just it.
Yeah.
I mean,
the opening spot anymore is not a bad thing. Like, you want to start hot, and then that sets the tone for the rest of the night. So why not give them the spot? Because you know they're not main eventing because of this bloodline stuff. So give them the next best spot.
And it's a thing. Like, if you ask any wrestler, they say if we're not last, we want to go first. Like, it's a real thing. Like that, you get a lot of freedom, and that's the thing. You're the first match on night one of WrestleMania. Man, the crowd's going to be hot, and they're going to want it. And Becky Lynch did the same thing. Like, this is the first time they're seeing the stage. This is the first time the fans are reacting. It feels like a hotter crowd. So yeah,
it's less opportunity then for them to make up their mind about how the show is going to go. It all works into the favor of, and I'm not even saying you have to do all those tricks for a Becky Lynch and a Rhea Ripley. They're two of the best women's wrestlers of all time, but putting them in that spot and letting them set the tone for the rest of the night on what is the biggest WrestleMania ever is perfect.
Yeah, if there's two women that can do that, I mean, you're picking two pretty good ones in Rhea and Becky. This match, I feel, is going to be. I think a lot of people are looking past this match. I don't know. I don't know if that's fair because I think these, like you said, two of the best. And
it's not fair to them. There's just so much going on in this WrestleMania. They really aren't kidding when they say this is like the biggest WrestleMania of all time. There's so many moving parts. There's so many rumors. There's so many speculation on what's going to happen that some of these matches, when you sit down and just look at the card, you go, oh my God, this is going to be awesome. But like, you're just not talking about it because Rock, Roman, Cody is taking over. Who's going to show up and help out on night two? But I mean, Rhea Ripley's been on a tear. She's been on an absolute run. She's been killing it. She beat Charlotte Flair last year. I think it would be super cool for her to bookend 39 and 40 with a win over Becky. As much as I love Becky Lynch is my all-time favorite wrestlers. But I think it would be a huge statement for Rhea to say, hey, we took down two of the four horsewomen back-to-back WrestleManias. That puts her in another stratosphere.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one because I really do believe that Rhea walks out still the women's world champion in this one. And I think a lot might have to do with Becky saying she has 2 months left for her contract. You talked about Drew and maybe plans might change in regarding her contract. Man, there are 4 people on this WrestleMania card around titles who have contracts that could be ending, that could play an effect. But at the same time, Becky Lynch has a book. There's going to be a book deal. There's going to be book tours. There's going to be all that stuff too. And
she's going to be busy.
And I think this is the perfect time to catapult Rhea from the best to possibly an iconic standpoint. And I think she's on the road there. And I think just when she's starting to get cheered, like heavily cheered. She's no longer the heel anymore. She even said on Impulsive, I'm more of a tweener now. It all depends on where I am. But I think you have to just ride the hot hand, and there's not a hotter hand in the female division when it comes to Rhea Ripley. When Edge left WWE, and everyone was kind of wondering where the Judgment Day was going to go, you could thank Rhea Ripley for making that one of the best factions in WWE.
Yeah, she kept it afloat. I think that they're running out of things to do, so I think she's becoming big enough where it might be time for her to just kind of start doing her own thing. But this is the way. This is a good moment for her. This would be a huge WrestleMania moment, and like you said, Becky could go away for a little bit, do the book tour stuff, figure out the contract situation. I'd be shocked if Becky Lynch ever left the WWE. Like crazier. Don't get me wrong, crazier things have happened in wrestling, but she just feels like I feel like they would not let her go. They'll pay her whatever she wants, and then she could maybe come back around, in a couple months and say, hey, or maybe she sticks it out. I don't know what she does, but yeah, I think this is Rhea's time.
Yeah, no, she did say on Ariel she doesn't foresee herself leaving WWE either.
Yeah,
and I think that speaks volume when the performer says that. But nonetheless, I'm like, you can't see Becky leaving. But right now, I can't see Rhea dropping the championship. I think when she does that, it's going to be somebody like a Charlotte, like a Bianca, like maybe a Jade Cargill, who we'll definitely get to later.
Plus, selfishly, I would like to see Rhea and Becky have a little bit of a program instead of a one-off at Mania.
Yeah.
Then we don't do it again,
Yeah, that'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially with how good the Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch stuff turned out. I mean, imagine Rhea taking that spot. But yeah, so yeah, we're kind of alike there. We're both taking Rhea on there.
Yeah. So far, we're aligned here. Not great for podcasting. We got to start fighting about something soon.
Okay.
Okay. Well, creates cash.
I think I have picked up what you put down. I'm going to go with the Intercontinental Champion Gunther going up against Sami Zayn. If we're alike on this one, I don't know what I'm gonna. I don't know if there's a match.
I don't know because it depends. Are you going? I'm assuming you're leaning Sammy with the Countryman, Sami Zayn. Probably what you talked about earlier. If you don't pull the trigger with Gunther now, when are you going to do it? He's running through everybody, but it's Gunther, man. It's tough. It's tough to pick against the ring general.
It's so hard because I think if there's anybody who could be IC and world champion at the same time, it's Gunther.
Right.
I think he's the only one that makes it something that I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like he's
an all-timer.
And he's already crapped on the Ultimate Warrior in interviews, so it's destined, right?
It's perfect. Yeah, no, I'm with you. With Gunther, man, it's tough to pick against him, but I want to see him lose the IC title only because I want him to move up. I don't want him to lose because I'm sick of his reign. I'm not bored with it. If they wanted to give him a 1,300-day IC title reign, I'd be okay with it. But I also want to see him challenge for that world championship.
And who doesn't want to see Gunther become world champion at Bash at Berlin? Is that just not the perfect way to do it?
Exactly. Why not? Him and Cody in Berlin for the undisputed. He takes down Cody. Cody doesn't need a 6-year run if he wins at Mania. Just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing.
So are we agreeing that you're picking Gunther too?
No.
I figured, yeah, you can't go against Sammy.
It has nothing to do with the country side of things, though. I like the Rocky Balboa kind of treatment they're giving Sami Zayn going into WrestleMania in Philly. I have 2 things that I would love to see. One, I'd love to see KO win the U.S. title, Sammy have the IC title, and you get that Eddie Benoit type moment 20 years later with 2 different best friends. I think that would be amazing to see.
Yeah.
But the reason why I want to see this is exactly what you said. I want to see Gunther move up to the world title thing. I think he has outgrown the Intercontinental Championship. I do believe that. And I think this would be a perfect way for Chad Gable to say he's going to help Sami Zayn and see him. But then the moment where he sees Sami Zayn do everything he thought he couldn't, like, Chad Gable does not believe in Sami Zayn, but he wants to help him. And I think what better ways is to have Sami Zayn do the unthinkable, give him that moment, but then on the Raw after WrestleMania, Chad Gable turns on Sami Zayn, and now we have an amazing Intercontinental title feud, prolonging Gunther. Gunther can then go up, and I think there we go. Now this is what Gunther's done for the IC title. He's made it legendary. He's done everything he could do it, and guess what? It's still thriving, and he's done exactly what someone needs to do. That's why I think Sami Zayn is good. And then we can see Chad Gable as Intercontinental Champion, and everybody gets what they want, but you also have it in I think, a good story.
You could convince me anyway that this would be like, and I said this on my podcast, if I had to pick one, confidence points wise, this would be the least amount of confidence points I could put on it, because I'm just not sure which way they want to go with it. But you can convince me either way. I'm a huge Sammy guy.
Yeah.
So,
and I think Gunther is just amazing. Like this guy needs to be a world champion.
Yeah, this world champion would be awesome.
But yeah, no, I love Gunther. I think what he's done for the Intercontinental title, nobody's ever going to be able to duplicate it. He is, in my eyes, I say he is the best Intercontinental champion of all time. And I don't care how many times Jericho or The Miz had it. One title reign of that magnitude is better than 8 little tiny ones.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
All right, so we actually do disagree. I knew it.
Oh, it was coming. I told you. It has to happen. We can go chalk, but then that's just, what's the fun in that?
Yeah. Let's go to a match that got announced on Friday. It was a match that I don't think a lot of people expected to be put out, and that is Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar go up against Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Was this the match you were hoping for, or is this a match you're happy to get?
I wasn't expecting it because I felt like they already had a lot going on at Mania. So when they threw this one together, I guess they were just waiting for Rey to get healthy.
Yeah.
I would want to see, if this is the match they're doing, I want to see this like become Dominic Rey one more time. Dominic ends up retiring Rey Mysterio one-on-one, like you do Dominic Rey 2. But this will be a fun little match. This will be a good time. A nice little, Dragon Lee's fantastic. Santos is good. Rey's back. Dominic is Dominic. So, bring it on. I didn't expect him to book this for Mania, though.
No, and it's kind of a weird match when you kind of think about how on Friday they bring in Dragon Lee officially as the LWO.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, they bring in Dragon. They have Dominic come out and help Santos and realign with kind of that his feud with his dad. But then you also have some teasers about maybe him and Rhea having a split, or maybe there's some friction, in the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And then you also have Tom trying to bring Andrade into the Judgment Day, who had his moment with Santos in the Royal Rumble. There is so many spoons too many forks in the salad right now that I have no idea which one is mine anymore. I don't hate this match because, like you said, it's 4 amazing people. I'm just I have no idea where you go with this. Like, does it really matter? Why would you have Dominic Mysterio come in and he's the one that ends Legado versus LWO story? And I'd be hard pressed.
He hates his dad. It's all this daddy issues. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I think if we look, Rey won the match at Mania last year over Dom. So you'd have to, I think if you wanted to do it, you could have Dom get one up on Rey, and he's got help to do it. And then you get, like I said, the rubber match. It's like it's like a career thing. Like, I'm going to put my career on the line. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of insight in this because they kind of just threw it together. And I was like, yep, that's happening.
I have a feeling Dragon Lee is going to get the pin on someone. I think they want to make Dragon Lee the star.
Yeah.
However, I wouldn't be shocked if Rey pins Santos for that closure either. No. I'm going to just stick with my gun. I think Dragon Lee is going to get the win for the team.
There you go.
I don't know. And yeah, I'm more confused about this match because I don't understand it, but at the same time, I want to see what they do next because I trust Triple H.
Triple H, trust.
He hasn't vinced me yet.
Yeah, he's been doing good. They've been doing a lot of good work. They've been hitting a lot more than they've been missing. I will say that.
Yeah. All right, another match that we have. Yeah, let's go to this one. AJ Styles versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
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 This
Not
match.
not the match I wanted LA Knight to be in, but he's here.
It's not the match I wanted AJ Styles in either.
Oh, there you go. What did you want him in?
I wanted to see him. I wanted to see him, Gallows, and Anderson do something. I kind of wanted to see them be more impactful. Oh, I don't know. I would have loved to see AJ Styles and like maybe Randy or AJ Styles, and I don't know, like just I don't know.
I wanted LA Knight and Logan Paul, but just for the United States
Yeah.
style. But we're here. It's interesting. It's LA Knight is obviously going to be over. I think you can't. You talk about that fickle Philly crowd. If LA Knight does not win in Philadelphia with the way he is over, it could turn. It could turn. That crowd could turn on you. So I think LA Knight avenges AJ Styles, gets the win. The crowd is chanting, yeah. I think it's poetic. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, this seems like it's a very conclusive prediction to this. LA Knight needs this win. I think he needs this win while AJ Styles can stand this loss. And I think that really comes down to it. I think if LA Knight loses at WrestleMania, when you think about the year that he's had and how he wasn't on WrestleMania last year, everybody wanted him. See that? Everybody wanted him to win Money in the Bank. Everybody wanted him to win the title against Roman.
Right.
He just kept having that. Oh, no, you're not doing it, but you're staying in the mix. I think this is the perfect.
Giving us what we want match.
Just okay. It's like, yeah, we know this isn't what you like would have done, but I think they're gonna have a great match. I think LA Knight's gonna look like $1,000,000, and we're gonna have a yeah moment in Philly. Like,
yeah, other than that, I mean, the story's been fine between the two of them. I think that's literally why they're doing it. They're going to give him his moment, and then maybe we'll see what they do with him after that.
Yeah, and AJ Styles is teasing new music.
Yeah,
and I'm curious, like, come on, how can you not like that?
He's got a great song, so hopefully it doesn't disappoint. He's got a very iconic and recognizable song.
Yeah, that was made for Shinsuke Nakamura.
That was?
Yeah.
I thought it was made for James Storm when he did it, when he was going to do his WWE run.
Maybe. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
That's what I heard, but you could be right. Who knows? But hey, we'll see what he comes up with.
No, it was Bobby Roode's Glorious. That was supposed to be for Shinsuke. You were correct on that one. Yeah, you're right.
It's also a good one.
That's a banger. That's a banger. Yeah, LA Knight. I don't think anybody. I mean, that was just a gimme. If you lost money on every other match, that's the match to make some money back.
Yeah.
If you're a betting man. Let's go with, I think, a match I think everyone kind of expected they were going to go with. It's interesting to see. I'm very, very intrigued with what they do after, but this match is going to be fun. I think it's going to be a potential dark horse. And in the City of Brotherly Love, we have a pair of twin brothers, Jimmy Uso versus his brother Jay. This match feels like there's more to it than what we are led to believe. I am very intrigued about the Solo Sikoa factor in this match.
Yeah. Interesting. Go on.
You have really three brothers in this.
Yep.
In the thing, right? And you have twin versus twin. And Solo's kind of the brother left out. Kind of how it felt like in their wrestling careers. While the Usos came, they started being this amazing tag team that we know of. And then Solo comes later. Because Solo is always left behind.
They usually do that with younger brothers.
I'm curious to see what side Solo really is on. Simply because he doesn't ever high-five Jimmy. He doesn't ever really do anything with Jimmy. He doesn't acknowledge Jimmy. He makes Jimmy acknowledge him. Yes, I'm saying this with everything intended. And I think he might get more respect from Jay than he does from Jimmy. I think so. I don't think this match is going any other way than Jay Uso winning. But I do think Solo chooses that he does not side with either brother in this match.
That's fair. I look at this match and I have similar intrigue because I think there's more to it, but my more to it is in the test of time, in the history of histories. What do you say when you got two brothers that are at odds? Just let them fight it out. They'll figure it out. When those two brothers or those two friends, they fight it out, what usually happens at the end?
They hug it out.
They hug it out, or they dap it up. They say, you know what? I love you. Because Jay has been really pushing the, I miss driving with you. I miss being, they've got a beef. They're going to squash it. It makes me wonder where they place this on the card, how the involvement will go forward, how their relationship will be after that. Do I think Jay immediately jumps back into the bloodline? No. Does Jimmy leave the bloodline? I don't know. There's a lot of intrigue there because, like I said, brothers fight it out. They get it over with, and then it's usually squashed after that. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. I'm super intrigued. I think Jay gets the upper hand here, though, unless Solo picks Jimmy.
Yeah. And then that's a moment, too. If Solo does something for Jimmy, that's a pretty significant moment because it'd be the first time he's openly done something for
unless
Jimmy.
Roman says, hey, you got to make sure Jimmy wins here. unless we get some kind of interaction where Roman's talking to Solo about this match and saying, hey, we got to make sure this gets done. But we'll see. It's super interesting because I said if maybe Jay changes his mind and he's like, you know what, this is my brother, this is my blood, this is my family. He shows up, screws Cody.
Do you think their father gets involved? The quiche?
Oh, you know what? I wouldn't put it past anybody based on all the wild rumors I've seen around this WrestleMania, this bloodline story specifically. Bring them all out. I don't know, man. I'm here for all the chaos this year. I usually don't like things that are incredibly overbooked, but for some reason, this WrestleMania, I'm just empty the clip, overbook the shit out of it. I'm here for all of it. Because like you said, I trust Triple H. I've been trusting what they're doing. It's been working. So if they decide to go crazy with it, maybe I have a feeling it's going to hit.
And you always think that there's something next. And and to me, that's something that I'm so happy to finally feel again. I don't feel like when I watch the product, they insult my intelligence. I feel like there's always a rhyme to a reason. Yep. And I always see a reason. And I couldn't always say that, but
yeah, we were talking about that last night when I was with Josh and JPJ doing Josh Robinson's WrestleMania stream, and that's what it said. It's like you're getting rewarded for watching now, the Easter eggs and everything, the callbacks. They're even on commentary talking about wrestling they're bringing up New Japan. They brought up Sting's last match. They're not making you go, hey, we're in just this bubble. This is all that matters. If they're going, no, the wrestling world as a whole, look at Shayna Baszler, Bloodsport. They're showing you that, hey, you are a wrestling fan. We are a wrestling product, but we're also entertaining as well.
Yeah, and let's face it, WWE can do more good in the wrestling business by helping out competition than anybody taking shots at that. They're in that position. And when they do that, and if they do that, that's just a good thing for wrestling, right? So,
I agree.
But I mean, as you said, overbook this Mania. It's the biggest WrestleMania. It's Philly. Philly's a chaotic city to begin with, and they just they just respect who comes out of the chaos.
Like I said, it would be more interesting in the sense of I can't believe they did it if it was just Roman Cody straight up one-on-one, nothing crazy happened. I'd be more shocked at that than just them throwing the kitchen sink at this thing.
Yeah.
I'd rather them do that.
All I know, first time we see Jimmy versus Jay, I'm excited. We all know that brothers just have this weird chemistry. We all know that it's always good. You can go back to Matt and Jeff. You can go back to Owen and Brett. Hell, storyline wise, go back to Undertaker and Kane.
Yeah. And they're twins. They know what they're doing in there.
They know, and that's going to be the fun thing. They'll know every move before the other one thinks it. Now, can they make that like into the match? Like, if they do that, that's going to be crazy. They do the same move set. It's going to be fun. It's going to be energetic. I think the entrances are going to be phenomenal. I'm really excited to see Jay just do this with like 60,000 people.
Right, just going nuts. Yeah.
The visual is going to be beautiful. So I can't wait for that. And I think this is the perfect thing. We talk about beautiful visuals. Jade Cargill's entrance.
Superstar.
Right? How can they do it any better than that?
I don't think they could. I thought they forgot about her. I was like, when are we going to see Jade? And everybody's like, just wait. And then Friday, they're like, boom, here she is.
Yeah.
In a big way.
And like, how amazing was it? You had no Rock and no Roman. It didn't feel like you had really big stars on there or like the top draws. What a perfect way to make Jade Cargill that top star.
Yeah, you don't overshadow her with other stuff. You made her the kind of the focal point of the episode. It was well done. I've been on the Jade Cargill bandwagon since she debuted. I said, yeah, that opening promo she had in AEW, wasn't the best. I can see that, but she's brand new. That was a huge spot to put somebody that new in. But I've always been a fan. I've always seen star potential in her, and the WWE said, boom, so do we. Yeah. Here we go. We're off to the races. Dude, it's going to be good.
And she's in a match where she aligned herself with Naomi and Bianca Belair. Now,
involved in that damage control stuff.
If you told me in January 1 that this was going to be the trio at WrestleMania, I would have drank about 7 beers and said, you're an idiot.
Yeah, because I don't think you saw the trajectory for Bianca to be in this spot. Things have kind of fell the way they fell. Naomi's back. She wasn't back until recently. Jade's here now after that big Royal Rumble spot. Damage Control's got a lot going on with the Bayley storyline, but I think this is a great 6-woman tag. It's going to be a great showcase. I think it's designed to show off Jade's strength, so I think you're going to see her get that big pin in front of 60,000 people, put her on the map, and I think it's going to be a good time. And maybe we break it off where she gets a pin over. I'm assuming Kairi Sane. I think she'll pin Kairi. Maybe. Okay. I know the GOAT is there, but I would like to see her maybe pin Kairi, maybe get involved in that tag division, maybe with Bianca or Naomi. Yeah. Why not add another badass tag team to the mix?
And that's something I kind of wanted to ask you while we talked about this match. Were you a little bit on the, I don't hate this match, but it does mean that we're not going to get women tag team titles being defended at WrestleMania.
Oh, of course. There's always room for another women's match. I don't know why they did it this way, but I'll take it.
I thought they had that match solidified. I honestly thought it was going to be Naomi and Bianca challenging the Kabuki Warriors for the tag titles. So I was a little blown away with this direction. I don't hate it by any means because I know exactly where they're going. And that is we're going to make Jade look absolutely amazing. And she is the answer. And I do believe that this was designed probably for Charlotte if she was still around, like if she was not injured, because this just felt like a Charlotte situation. But I'm happy it's Jade. I think it's absolutely amazing. And I love the fact that Dakota Kai is going to get her WrestleMania moment on her own 2 feet. I think that's beautiful. I think she has worked really hard to get it. The Kabuki Warriors are just phenomenal, and they're a staple of that women's division right now. They need a team like that just to kind of be there. Because that's a growing division, and that's why I think I was a little sad to not see those titles being defended. But I'm really, I really need to see this Jade Cargill entrance at WrestleMania.
Dude, I think they're gonna really show out all these entrances, but Jade specific is gonna look really cool. I hope that they have this match closer to the end of so that we get it at night. Like, I don't know how it's gonna hit. I don't know how it'll hit during the daytime hours, but because that'll be part of the first hour. That'll probably be in the sun. I would imagine.
Just make it the semi-main event then.
Yeah, main event of mine. Why not? But we got a bloodline main event, dude. We got a bloodline.
Put him in the semi. Put him right before the tag.
Sure. I'm not opposed to it.
I wonder if WWE is going to like fake a storm, like create their own little like weather storm during this.
Just a delay.
If there's a company that could just manipulate Mother Nature, I mean, who's to say it's not WWE?
For sure, I'm with you there. We gotta push it back into prime time. But that's the draw when you get these stadium shows it's worse on the West Coast. When on the West Coast, it's really bad because it's only 3 or 4 o'clock there. East Coast, it won't be terrible in Philly. It'll be 7.
And it's an open stadium. It's not a dome like last year's was. So that does change everything. Yeah. Because we go back to the Bray Wyatt Undertaker match, and that was in pure daylight, and everybody's like, "Oh, that would have been way better."
The visual of Taker at night is much better.
Yeah, you can't do the fireflies with all these. With the sun. But here a match that you can do night or day. I have a feeling this is going to kick off WrestleMania, a night 1 opener, and that is the 6-way ladder match.
Car crash TV if you're ready.
Oh yeah, you wanted chaos. Well,
I have 12-person ladder match essentially. Jesus.
You have the champions Damian Priest and Finn Balor, the unified tag team champions, defending their tag titles in a 6-team ladder match that involved Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day, Los Losterios, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, Awesome Truth, and DIY.
Do you Regenerated X?
Regenerated X.
Is that Shawn Michaels and Triple H? I'm just gonna say it right now. If R-Truth doesn't have a belt and isn't holding the belt at the end of this, I think we've made a mistake.
I really hope that the visual we see before this match starts is that instead of having 4 tag titles hanging up, we see brand new tag team designs.
Yeah, that would be because there was also a debate on whether, if it's still the unified if they're still going to do the red and the blue, does 2 teams, one grab one and one grab the other, and then they split it that way, or do they unify it? I think I would be happy if they decided to split it between brands. We never see Finn and Damian on SmackDown, so if you're a SmackDown tag team, you're not getting any run. But if you want to unify them and let that tag title champion go across brands, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, and maybe they do that reset because maybe post-Mania that's what they do. They do have a team that travels back and forth. Personally, I would do what they do with the women's titles. I would scrap the NXT titles and I do the thing with all 3 brands.
Could do that.
But at the same time, I think this match is going to be, like we said, chaotic, car crash. I'm very intrigued by the opportunities that we see for Los Losterios, Grayson Waller, Austin Theory. I have a feeling Theory's going to do something just insane. I mean, he's also the one that took the F5 off the pod. That was nuts. R-Truth is he's a delight. He's a national treasure.
I'm saying this because I think he's been fantastic. I think that's why I would love to see him and Miz win the tag titles, just because R-Truth has been such a key MVP throughout the first few months of the year. He's kept that Judgment Day thing going. When we thought it was dead in the water, he interjects himself and it gives it more life, it gives it more legs. And what better way to beat Priest and Finn than have it be R-Truth? And he could even celebrate, try to celebrate with Priest and Daniel. I'm still a member of the Judgment Day, right? There's all so much fun you could have with it. Because I also think it's time for Priest, as we talked earlier, to maybe get into some other things. So he doesn't need these tag titles.
Yeah. I think we're both in agreement that Judgment Day are going to drop the tag titles on this.
Yeah. I don't think you booked this thing for them to retain.
No.
You know what? We really want them to retain, but we want them to face off against 6 other tag teams.
And the one thing, not only is WrestleMania the event where you always have one match where the unlikely team or even talent wins. I go back to Zack Ryder winning the Intercontinental title in the ladder match. Mm-hmm. So I actually don't think you predicting Awesome Truth as this is a long shot by any means. But I would be stunned if Triple H does not put the tag titles on DIY.
Yeah, you could do like a next night at Mania thing like you did with Ryder. Awesome Truth wins it. It's a cool moment. And then you give it to DIY, who's been on fire lately, and let them start their run. Like there's ways you could do it. Because if you put it on Truth, it opens up more opportunities where he could he could accidentally screw up and drop the pin, cost it. There's just ways that you could do it because it's our Truth where he's bulletproof. Yeah. If he loses a belt, it's our Truth. It's fine.
Would it not be ironic that even though he doesn't win, he could be the reason why Judgment Day loses the championships and it still kind of works?
Yeah, I have a feeling he's the key to this whole thing. He's going to have some involvement either way. I'm just selfish and want him to win all of the gold. I want him to beat Roman.
Part of me kind of wants to see him try to steal the Money in the Bank, or even bring out the 24/7 title just as a gimmick.
Bring it back. Oh
yeah.
Oh man.
Or just like bring out a table and just be like, "Miss, this isn't a tables match." My bad.
He's the most decorated champion in WWE history. R-Truth.
Yeah.
That 24/7 championship 48 times. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
Oh god. All right. Next, we got to go to the Triple Threat United States Championship match. Another match I don't think we thought was going to be there. I was really confused with the Randy Orton involvement at Elimination Chamber because I thought KO and Logan Paul at that point was a lock. And I wasn't wrong. They just added the Viper, which kind of just assumed that there wasn't another place for Randy Orton.
No, I think this kind of works out though too. You got that hot young Hollywood guy, YouTube sensation, thinking he knows the business better than a guy like KO and Randy. Kind of this old man get off my lawn type deal. Logan Paul's about to get his ass kicked here, I think, by two of the best to ever do it, man. And I don't know if he wins. I don't know.
Let's not forget, this is the event, too, where that Prime bottle is dead smack in the center of the canvas. Going
for
on
all of it.
All PLEs moving forward now.
At first, I thought that was just like something he was running as a gimmick. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, they're actually doing it, which I know that there was discourse about it through the internet wrestling community. I think it's more because it's a Prime and people don't like Logan Paul than it is an actual endorsement deal. It's non-traditional, I get it, but
it's
make your money where you can make your money.
The games are changing, man.
Right, that's times they are changing.
Yeah, and it's time to play the game.
Yeah,
and the game is Evolution. Oh my god!
So who do you have winning this thing? I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it.
I want Kevin Owens to win.
Yeah.
And if it's not Kevin Owens, I want Logan Paul to retain.
Got it.
I don't think Randy needs his title. I think he's in a very weird spot where he should be in the going after a major title, like a world title, but it's not his time right now. It's just a weird situation and weird scenario for him. But I do think we're gonna see Orton beat the living piss out of Logan Paul, because I think that's what everybody wants to see. But I think just given what he's done for the company, I think this is one of the things where Kevin Owens was always a Triple H guy from the get-go. And I think Triple H really wants Kevin Owens to have a moment. He knows that he did not want to, like, Sami Zayn and KO did not want to split from each other, and they did that to bring Jay over to Raw.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be the moment, the WrestleMania moment where it's Triple H saying, Kevin Owens, this is because you've been this is a thank you. And I do think that that's a thing in WWE. And like I said, I want Kevin Owens as U.S. champ and Sami Zayn an IC champ, and I want them to hug it out in the middle of the ring, because two men who main evented night one last year and brought the tag titles to the main event. How beautiful of a moment would that be?
Plus, I think it would be interesting social media wise to have like a visual of Logan Paul taking an L on a Prime bottle and them stunner RKO, whatever it may be. Like, I could see that. I'm down with Kevin winning this thing. I think Logan loses it, but I think because he doesn't necessarily need the title, but it is a great headline grabber that he had the U.S. title. But now you can just have him do some really fun stuff. See, I'm with you.
If KO has the U.S. title, imagine the comedy vignettes where he's trying to sanitize this U.S. title from what Logan Paul did. Like, like that would be too funny and just too good.
He's like, I need a new one.
just brings the old one. Like, I can't touch that anymore.
Yeah, I need a new one, please.
The one thing I kind of wanted to see in this match was maybe it being an elimination match. Kind of thought maybe this would have made this match stand out a little bit more, but I'm also okay, because I don't think, but the more I think about it, maybe you only need one fall. You don't need two.
Yeah, we'll see how they play it. Maybe there's somebody that comes in and gets involved with Randy or something and kind of offshoots it. We'll see. There's no DQ in a triple threat match, so anything can happen. No. It's WrestleMania 40, pure chaos.
Yeah. I know we haven't talked about Roman and Cody. I'll wait till the end, because I think that's kind of how we close WrestleMania. So it should be how we close the show.
There you go.
And I want to put some emphasis on this match, because I think this female deserves it. I think this match might have got lost in the shuffle a little bit, but at the same time, we have Io Sky defending her Women's Championship against Bayley, the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble. In my eyes, one of the best women's wrestlers right now. I think, given her pedigree, pun intended, of what she's done in WWE.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Bayley get her flowers at WrestleMania this year. It's going to be such a good moment, especially if she gets, because I know there's talks about her having Paramore play her out.
That would be something.
Just giving Bayley that one of those like big entrances, I think it's going to be amazing. I think the world of her as a performer, and I'm just happy to see her in a main event type situation get that world title at a WrestleMania. I think it's a foregone conclusion. She's taken the title.
Yeah, I think this is one of those slam dunk moments where you all just go, this is it. This is the move. It's Bayley. She's done it all. She's never really had this opportunity to have this moment at Mania. I love Damage Control. Like, I love the idea of it. I love the Asuka involvement, the Kairi Sane, the expansion of it. I really dug it. But if this is the way you're gonna do it, I'm all for it. It makes sense. Io Sky's had it. Give it to Bayley. I'm a babyface Bayley again. Big moment in front of a crowd. Dude, wrestling fans know what Bayley means to this sport and what she's done. And let's be honest, even in, like you said, this has been lost in the shuffle for everything, and it's kind of she wasn't on the poster, she wasn't this, but she also was always overshadowed a little bit in the Four Horsewomen. It was always Becky and Charlotte and Sasha, then Bayley. But it's like Bayley has been an unsung hero of this company for a long time. So like you said, Triple H is big on thank yous. Here would be a huge moment to say, Bayley, thank you. I'm all for it. If it doesn't happen, I would be shocked.
And Triple H has even gone on record, and I remember at the Rumble post conference, which also shout out to you for getting Cody Rhodes to say yeet at a post conference. Let's just shut that out a little bit.
Oh, that's the crowning moment of my career, I guess. I was sitting next to the guy. If we want to shoot off to that real quick, I was sitting next to the guy. I got stuck front row center because they said just sit right here. So I was like, "Are you sure you want me up front, like a little old me?" So I got to ask my question to Cena and LA Knight. I couldn't get another question, and I was really trying to get a couple more in. And then the guy right next to me got the last question. And I'm of the belief that on like a podcast or an interview or whatever, don't end on something super serious. Try to end on a little light note, a little fun. The guy next to me killed it, but it was like a kind of a serious question. I was like, oh man, you're going to end this Cody segment on some like serious moment. And I was like, no. And then I looked up and I was like, I got to shoot my shot. If I'm ever going to be here again. And I just go, cause I'm like 5 feet from him. I'm like, Cody, you got to yeet. And he like that. When you watch it, you see him go like this. He's like, what? I go, you got to yell yeet. Jay's been doing it all night. And then he shuts everything down and does it. And now I'm like, the guy that got Cody to yeet for the first time. So I'll take that. If I don't do anything else in the business, I've got that to hang my hat on. Except they keep taking my videos down on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff. They took them all down because it's a WWE owned property. So I'm trying to get Cody to like let it slide.
What a shame.
I agree. But hey, it was a really cool experience. I had a lot of fun with it. So.
Well, now if you ever go back and do like one of those media row things, you got to interview Cody and you got to get him to put you over on it.
Oh, if I ever get the
clip, and then
like Cody's pretty good about like, I remember you. You're that guy. He might feel like, are you the yeet guy? Because he's like, you guys stuck out like sore thumbs sitting in the front row. You're not Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. Who are you? The lady, when I walked into the back full shoot, like the way they do it is as soon as the match ends, they tell you to meet a spot and, show them your credentials and go through. So like when Seth is holding up his championship like this at the pay-per-view, I'm literally walking past him. Like I'm 2 or 3 feet from him as he's celebrating. So like you have like 15,000 people probably wondering who this line of people is that are getting escorted to the back. And literally a lady turned around and she's like, who are you with? And I was like, I'm Pluggo with Love Wrestling. And she like looked at her thing and she's like, oh, okay. Because I thought for sure, like right there, she was going to be like, no, not you two. No, not you. Because I was with Mrs. Pluggo. Not you guys. No, you're not supposed to be a part of this. So, but no, I was. And so I'm that guy. If anybody wants to take credit for that, they can't.
I totally did not mean to overshadow our discussion of Bayley.
You did. No, you did. No, but yeah.
It's so ironic, but but the whole point was after the Rumble post conference, Triple H flat out said about Bayley after her winning is that sometimes you always have that one person where it just so happens that it should be about that person, but situations have a tendency of working its way to another direction. And then she was always the person who she's always the next in line. She was never the first. Mm-hmm. And finally she's the first in line. Yeah. And I think that's just an amazing thing. I think this championship reign for her could go down as her most memorable based on the story that came before it. And like you said, the Damage Control was amazing. I really think Damage Control was the beginning of the Triple H era. Like you can really say that because those were the really first big moves Triple H made at that SummerSlam in Nashville. When you really think about it, because that's the one time where he brings back Io Shirai at the time. Dakota returns. Bayley is back. And then Damage Control is formed. And then that was baby. Now all these years later, we see probably the culmination of Damage Control with Io Sky defending the title against Bayley. And just what a beautiful moment would it be, especially if we get that win off a belly to Bayley slam.
There you go.
Is it belly to Bayley or Bayley to belly?
I think it's Bailey to Belly, but
Okay.
if you wouldn't have said anything, I'd have been like, "Yeah, that makes sense." It's one of those things. It's all the same. But yeah, I'm here for it. I'm all in. I think it's Bailey's moment. I'm so excited for her. She's one of the best.
Yeah. Or if she just gets a new music, like, hey, we want some Bailey. Like, just get one of those music. if Philly does that, I'd pop. But this leads us to the main event. We all know this is the main event of night 2. It's the match we wanted after last year. Cody Rhodes.
After they pulled that shit last year, this is definitely the match. They better not do it again.
After last year, when Cody lost, did you ever think you would still care about part 2?
Yeah, I thought for sure because we wanted it. It's like, oh my, I couldn't believe they didn't do it last year. It was tailor made. It was perfect. It all made sense. And then they pulled that, and I'm like, well, shoot. But, we knew he was going to get back to it. We just didn't know when. So then they had him kind of do all these little side quests, go win tag championships, go do this, go hang out with Seth Rollins, do the thing with Shinsuke. Now we're here. And like I said,
Pluggo.
Huh?
So go eat with Pluggo.
Yeah, hang out with me at Fastlane. And then he wins the Rumble back to back. I'm like, okay, here we go. We're in. It's happening.
Right at Roman.
Right. He points right at Roman. We're like, all right, I'm in, locked in, strapped in. They're not going to do this 2 years in a row. Then they do that thing where he gives the spot to The Rock. They've not explained it since. I was furious about it because I'm like, why would that doesn't make any sense if you're not going to explain it. Everybody's like, let it play out. And then everything, like we talked earlier, kind of fell the way it fell with injuries and changing game plans, and you got The Rock locked in. And it's like, well, you got to figure out a way to implement because the last year it was like, well, we might have Rock, we might have Roman. That's the match you do at WrestleMania. So Cody might not be in the spot. So here we are, hat on a hat. We've got here. I'm still excited. They keep telling me that Cody's the guy. I'm fully believing them that Cody's the guy. It's been a long time in the WWE since they've pretty much beat you over the head that this is the guy. And everybody's like, yeah, we're in. We're not resisting this at all. Give it to us. So they better give it to me. I don't know how they do it. I don't care how it gets done. Bring back Cena. Bring back Stone Cold. Bring Rikishi. Bring Zilla Fatu. Bring Jacob Fatu. I don't care, but I want to see Cody leave with that belt.
Any way Triple H works his, he goes back to his blue bloodline. Yeah. He's American blue blood. Yeah. It's a stretch, but whatever. But what happens if he does his Triple H magic and he tries to, for one night, get his brother out? For one night.
I'll say this. If we want to go down that road, I know that Dustin's AEW. I know that they don't work together. It would 1000% benefit AEW more than it would benefit the WWE. So if they were to even ask, if I'm Tony Khan for one night based on this story, I would say, hey, sure. Like it's that big of a moment. And Tony Khan himself is a wrestling fan at heart, right? I know he's in competition, but he knows how big this is. I get it. It would definitely be a huge moment if you saw Dustin Rhodes show up.
Would it not be the most beautiful moment to see Dustin Rhodes hand Cody Rhodes the championship?
Yeah. Will that happen? I don't know. That's crazy to think because they don't work together, but it would be huge. It would be a big deal. Or even like if he came out and hugged him with like his family. You know what I mean? Mama Rhodes is there, Brandy's there, Dust is there. They all hug and embrace or something. He wins the title. It would be a huge family moment, and it would be. I think it would be silly for both companies not to figure out a way to do that.
Especially when you then hear, wrestling is more than one royal family. Like that's just like all the emotions, right? Like, and that's what wrestling to me is all about. It's the emotional investment. It's that storytelling done right, and then you get the moments that just make you proud that you stayed through the whole thing.
And The Rock has been on fire with this stuff. And he's been real. I mean, obviously it's The Rock. Everything The Rock does is over the top, but he's been very over the top about bringing up the family, putting that whooping on Cody. So I couldn't imagine a scenario where he doesn't win this thing.
Yeah, and especially if like the whole idea is to break him on night one, and then you find out he doesn't break on night two.
No.
And that's always the storyline going in, that if you go and do Bloodline rules, as you say, how do you even bring up Bloodline rules and not do it?
How do you tease me with something that sounds that awesome and then just go, nope, we're going to do a one-on-one match with no outside interference for the main event of WrestleMania. It's going to be a straight grappling match. That's all we're doing. Submission match.
It's a bra and panties match.
No, that would be something. That would be something. I don't know. I don't know how that would play out, but I think it would be throw that into the Bloodline. Throw it all. Every gimmick you could think of, I'm here for it. It's going to get crazy. It's going to be chaotic.
Yeah, but they always say the Bloodline. The narrative is always, if it's Bloodline rules, it always favors the Bloodline. What happens if Bloodline rules actually favors Cody?
Well, that's the risk you take when you mention that kind of anything goes matchup. I mean, don't think Cody's not a dumb baby face, except for giving a spot to The Rock. I'll never let that go. But he's got to have, because the other night at SmackDown when they all came out, he had Seth and Jay ready to go and have his back. So I'd have to imagine he's got some tricks up his sleeve to combat all this. So that's why I think we're going to see some crazy stuff go down.
Yeah, and I was about to mention that. So good call on that too. I think, what's the word? You make one mistake, you learn, and you become better out of it, because you don't want to make the same mistake twice. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, or fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me thing.
Yep.
I think Cody Rhodes is destined to finish the story. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, if Roman just holds the title this much longer to here, he'll beat Hulk Hogan. I would believe that more if Hulk Hogan was number one on that list. But he's number 3. And and WWE's not actively trying to erase Hulk Hogan. So I don't see why you put in all this work just to be number 3. WWE's ego is too big for number 3. That's
fair, for sure. That's definitely been an argument, but that would just be like, okay, we'd do this at SummerSlam. Like, it's possible. It'd be crazy. It'd be malpractice. I don't know how you could do that. And the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and just have Roman standing there with that belt going, oh man, they did it to Cody again.
Another big moment in Philadelphia where they're just absolutely throwing crap sandwiches to The Rock and Roman Reigns.
Oh my god, nuts!
I can't see it again. I think biggest WrestleMania of all time. You're gonna see something that I think you don't expect, or you're gonna have the moment of a lifetime. I truly believe that. But yeah. So yeah, we can all wait and see. As I said last Sunday, when I did the last Chris Perish podcast, this will be put out on today, the Friday, April 5th. So you're probably watching Shayna Baszler and Masha Slamovich right now. Well, hopefully not now. Hopefully you're watching this and watching it after.
Double screen it.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I have 3 screens on right now, but I mean, come on. But no, I do want to take this time to just plug my sponsors right now, and that is rogueenergy.com. So if you are trying to get through the WrestleMania week and you need that little pump me up, make sure you go to Rogue Energy and you check out all their everything on their catalog, as they had the massive restock, biggest restock in company history right now. And if you need to spend more money than you want, unfortunately that happens, but I'll save you some money. I'll save you the perfect 10% with the promo code PERISH, PERISH. That's PERISH. Promo code, save yourself that 10%. Also, I want to throw down my affiliate, Turnbuckle Talk. Check them out every Monday and Tuesday when the Raw Patrol surveys the wrestling scene on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Monday Eastern. Turnbuckle Talk 8:05 Tuesdays. Pluggo, I just want to say thank you once again for saying yes and doing this. I think
Oh, thank you.
I don't think I've said it enough, but I always wish we did more back in the day. So I'm very happy to do this. I had a lot of fun. I'm very
we
happy.
made it through that whole card, man. I'm surprised we did it. So much.
I'm very happy and proud of what you've been able to do, and it could not happen to a better guy.
Oh, thank you. I try, man. I try.
I think the world of you. And now being a dad, I just hope I can fill your shoes, because I have nothing but respect and love for your brother. I am very happy you chose to do this. Hopefully we can do it again. And in this time, please let everybody know where the people can find you and what you have on the docket.
Oh, well, you can find me Thursday nights, 8 p.m. with JPJ for Between Two Beards, as you talked earlier. So you can find all of the information on what we do at that show. I never know what's going on that podcast. So you just have to tune in, but you can find all the updates at B2 Beards on all social medias. You can find my stuff, just me, Pluggo, across all social medias as well. Saturday mornings or Sundays, depending on schedules, I'm with Blair Pacheco of the Grainmaker podcast. We do 4 Exposure on Love Wrestling. That's at 4 Exposure Pod on Twitter. We talk all independent wrestling all the time. And then, of course, a bunch of other crazy stuff. I do a little podcast I actually missed this week. It's been a hectic week, called Unplugged with Pluggo, where I kind of just sit down for about a half hour and do an audio thing where I just kind of spew out my thoughts from the week that was, kind of an extension of the podcast I'm already doing. So if you want just a little bit more of my thoughts on some things, check that out on all of your favorite podcast applications. And then every once in a while, so I do some writing for Love Wrestling. So at Love Wrestling CA on the internet, you can find all of my writings for upcoming LPW events, get to know spotlight pieces, all sorts of fun stuff. I got a lot of fingers in various pies these days.
Well, that is awesome. And go check that out. Go follow him. They are Love Wrestling is absolutely killing it right now. They're creating waves that, I'm just so proud to see good people do good things over there. And I'm very happy with you and JPJ with where Between Two Beards has come. Great show. It's the A show on Thursday nights. So go check them out. For us, this is the end. So hopefully everybody, you enjoy WrestleMania. You be safe. You party hard, but you're respectful and you're nice with each other. Having a good time, and I'll see you for the Raw after WrestleMania. Bye now. Go Saints. I wanna pull the string.